Come on. So they had them apple bottom jean boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her.
What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with StrictlyShisha, and I'm doing a review today on a new Starbuzz flavor. And that Starbuzz flavor is Misty Apple, which is part of the Exotic Bold line. And I know I don't do a lot of reviews on Starbuzz flavors. Some of the original Starbuzz flavors for me were very sweet, and I didn't really care for them. But since then, the new ones that I'm trying, Starbuzz is getting very creative with their new flavors, and they're really stepping it up, which I'm liking. So I decided to give this new flavor a try. Plus, there wasn't a lot of information about it online, so I figured I'd try it and give you guys some information. So I'm glad you guys are actually watching this. So to give tribute to this Starbuzz flavor, I am smoking my all Starbuzz setup, the Starbuzz washable hose, Challenger XS. I'm obviously smoking Starbuzz tobacco. I'm using Cocoa Buzz coals. And I want to shout out to Theo for showing me his way of packing Starbuzz and getting really great results out of them, which is not so different from what I've always done. I'll just show you guys what I've done. I fluff pack Starbuzz in an Egyptian bowl. By the way, I love using an Egyptian bowl, especially with foil. I feel like the direct draw of air through really gets you a lot of flavor and smoke output. And I poked very little holes in this, which I'm not used to doing, but he recommended that. So I poked maybe 25 holes in this, put on 3 Cocoa Buzz coals, and I put them right on there. Didn't have to edge them or anything. And this is smoking very, very well. But Starbuzz has always been known to put out very big clouds and to take heat very well. So that's not really a shock to me. But when it comes to this flavor itself, Misty Apple, let's start with the smell. So everything that was advertised about this flavor, they were kept talking about it's a crisp green apple, and it's the only green apple, and all they talked about was a green apple in this. But when I smell it, I do smell that green apple aspect of it, but I'm definitely getting some sort of spice in the smell that is very prominent. The spice blend in this, I can't really make out exactly from the smell, but they're definitely strong spices that are competing for that sour apple smell. And I'm interested to see if that actually translates to the smoke, because no one I've seen has actually put emphasis on the spice aspect of this flavor. They're supposed to just say this is unlike a double apple flavor. You're not going to get any anise out of this. So let's see what I'm getting from the flavor. Let's see. So the flavor that I'm getting from this, I am getting that advertised green apple in this. And this is a tart and crisp green apple, a very enjoyable green apple. But what they didn't mention was that spice aspect of it. I'm getting this very robust spice flavor, and I'm not very well versed on spices, but if I had to make a guess based on other spice flavors I smoke, I'm saying that I'm tasting some cardamom in this, maybe just a smidgen of clove, because clove is a very strong flavor. And I'm not saying there's any mint in this, but it does smoke cool considering that there are spices in it. So if I had to summarize the flavor, I would definitely say it is mainly a spice blend with cooling green apple afternotes, which just complement it and are just there when you get that exhale. Kind of reminds me of a holiday drink, maybe even a spiced apple cider, something along those lines. So those spice notes are prominent. So definitely keep that in mind if you are planning to try this out. Longevity on this flavor, I mean, it lasts. I'm definitely getting full flavor throughout the duration of the session. And I've noticed that the actual spices tend to die down towards the end of the session, which is totally different. Typically, the fruit notes that are mixed with spices tend to die down first. But this is the exact opposite. I get the spice notes tend to mellow out towards the end of the session, and more of the green apple comes in. My results with the Lotus are very similar to this, but I've noticed that the green apple is a little more prominent when I'm smoking with the Lotus. I think that's just because of the way it heats up and the spices aren't able to shine as much. So if you don't want those spice flavors to shine as much, try using it in the Lotus, but I've packed it in every different way possible to come up with this conclusion of the flavor. So if what I've said sounds appealing to you, definitely pick it up. I picked this up from hookahjohn.com. Great experience with him. You can pick it up from Shop Starbuzz directly. I know they carry it, and they have a bunch of different package options for multiple different flavors. From the general consensus, though, from people that I've talked to, a lot of people really enjoy it. My girlfriend, who is super picky, by the way, if you are a tobacco brand and you want her to do a review, I wouldn't suggest it. She doesn't like anything. But she actually smoked this flavor and she was like, wow, this is great, Zach. For once you packed something good. And even 5 minutes before, I was packing that Fruition grape, and she thought it was disgusting. So she is a tough grader, and she really enjoyed this flavor. I know Muhammad from Puerto Rico, I've been talking to him about it, and he said he really loved it. And if I didn't like it, he wants to send me all of his, but I'm all out, so I can't send him any of mine. By the way, I do want to remind you guys that Misty Apple is not the only non-licorice, like anise apple on the market. Social Smoke does have Golden Delicious Apple, but it's a totally different flavor from this. They're not even comparing apples and apples. This does have that robust spice background note, and Golden Delicious Apple does not. And by the way, Trifecta is also coming out with a green apple flavor. Actually, it's already out. I actually already have it. Haven't tried it though. So you will see a review on that, and not a comparison per se, but just kind of references to let you guys know if you do like one of the other flavor that you might like this. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching as always, and stay tuned for more reviews of Starbuzz as well as a lot of other brands and products. You guys know I'm trying to put out reviews for you guys multiple times a week, so I appreciate you guys supporting me and thumbsing me up and liking it and making comments and just giving me general feedback. I always appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys. Bye.